Hello everyone, I'm Benjamin. Welcome back to Coaxium Cantina. I'm joined by,
It's me, Aidan.
and today we're going to be talking about the thing that literally came out 3 hours ago as we speak. LucasFilm have decided to name their new game company LucasFilm Games. Now this is very interesting because obviously at the moment EA owns the Star Wars games pretty much. They have a license to make all the Star Wars games.
Yeah.
But Lucasfilm have now decided to create their own. I'm not sure if it's a. I don't think it's a game studio. I think it's just their section of Lucasfilm that is games.
A branch off of the main company.
Yeah. But we're going to be discussing what this means and what we think is going to come out of this. I think there's definitely something that will come out of it, because they could have left it as it was and nobody would have cared, and it kind of came out of the blue. So what do you think is... Why do you think they've done this?
Well, first off, guys, I just want to say, me and Ben have not had a discussion about this. This is, for once, our fresh take on the subject.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was really surprised when you sent me the link, to be honest. It's an interesting one because the entire video only showed past games, which was a tiny bit of a shame because I thought that they might have thrown in a teaser or something for something. That was the word sounding twice. So yeah, that was a tiny bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
With this new development, is it Lucasfilm essentially saying that they're taking back the license or something like that, or are they taking control of the Star Wars games they're doing in the future?
Well, that's why I said I don't think it's a game studio like EA is.
Yeah.
It's just a branch of Lucasfilm. So for me, there are two things that are going to happen out of this. One is EA are losing the license.
Yeah.
Two is EA aren't losing the license, but not every Star Wars game is going to be EA.
Yeah, that seems like the more feasible idea.
Which I have to say it. Does that mean? Now, there's been nothing about it, and it's literally just because Lucasfilm Games. Does that mean Battlefront 3 is incoming?
Does it mean Battlefront 3? That was what I initially thought it was when you sent me the message, because obviously Instagram has changed it, so you can't see what the links are. You sent me the message, and it said something like, what does this mean, or something, but I think I didn't read it like that. I read it as like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah.
And I thought before I even clicked on it, don't tell me it's Battlefront 3. And I think that's what was so thingy about it, was because it was going through all of the different games, and we were like, this has to be leading somewhere.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we got some new Lego Star Wars content. There were a couple of shots that we've never seen before of Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
But surely they can't rename a whole company based off just Lego Star Wars.
No.
There's got to be something incoming.
It's really interesting because after The Mandalorian Season 2, Star Wars has taken an entirely different approach. They've released a batch of loads of films, a roadmap of their new content, and now they're remodeling
their games as well.
Yeah, and as well as producing the High Republic as well, they have really looked at what they needed to do to, let's say, earn their fans' respect back. And it seems like they're going the right way so far. And with regards to Lucas Games, in my mind, I think that's where all of our content's going to be coming from now.
Yeah.
Well, game-related wise.
Yeah. I mean, EA, there was a thing that EA said where they're going to double down on Star Wars games.
Yeah.
I think that was just before Squadrons came out that they said that.
Right.
So, and obviously, I think it's 2023 the Star Wars license runs out with EA. So, are Lucasfilm looking to the future and thinking, okay, so EA haven't done the best with what they had.
Yeah.
So, if we branch out and offer our games to whoever wants to make them, whoever we feel is going to make them the best, then it doesn't necessarily have to be EA that makes that decision.
Yeah, and I pray to God that it's Respawn, because as well as something like Fallen Order, that was done really well, and obviously they went hand in hand with Lucasfilm because they had the people from Lucasfilm down there whilst they were making the game. But a massive part of it was that the game was in itself quite short. It was made by a studio who cared. If you walked behind the scenes, you could see what Star Wars meant to everyone.
Yeah.
If we have another Lucas Games and Respawn kind of partnership, I think we could get something as good as Fallen Order or better.
Yeah.
Maybe another Battlefront from them.
Well, I think that maybe... I mean, Lego Star Wars isn't done by EA. So, and at the end of the day, Star Wars isn't bound to EA by anything, really. Like, yes, there's a contract there that says, like, they get the games. I'm guessing that it's something like they get the games first or whatever. If they don't want to make it, then they look elsewhere or something like that. But it just opens it up massively. That if EA have no longer got the license, then it opens up massively what games we could be getting in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only one I really care about right now is, well, obviously Lego Star Wars, and then Star Wars Battlefront 3. It's got to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that it now doesn't have to be with EA.
Yeah, and with regards to EA and Battlefront, I think in the end, they gave us the majority of what we wanted. The games released didn't obviously have everything, and that was a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
And by the time they said that they were cutting support for it, we were already meant to have Ahsoka and Padme, which is where the monstrosity of the ISB agent came from.
Yeah.
About that now. But yeah, that's the thing. EA wasn't exactly what we thought was going to be the best company to handle it. When they cut support with it, it was essentially just leaving us with nothing else. And I think if this new branch of Lucasfilm finds a new person for Battlefront, and if it's a studio that, as I say, like Respawn cares, then we could see a much greater game with an amazing start, with the content we already wanted, something like from the last game, and as new content from, say, the books or series or films comes out, we'll get an even greater addition to that.
Yeah, it's crazy that... So this... We obviously don't want to turn this into a Star Wars Battlefront 3 video, but that's just the first thing that came to my head when I was watching it. It looks likely now. Not likely. I wouldn't go likely. I wouldn't go as far as likely, but it looks more possible than it did. But this Lucasfilm game now incorporates Fallen Order, Battlefront 2, Squadrons, Galaxy of Heroes, which is interesting because I knew they still supported the game, but I didn't think that they were actively supporting it. But that and Lego Star Wars. So it just shows that it's not just the EA games that are under this bracket.
Yeah, it's everything they can do, really.
I'm also thinking, if it's LucasFilm Games, are they looking at making an overarching story throughout the games? All the games that they release, are they looking at making an overarching story?
I personally wouldn't go that far. I'd say it's a possibility, maybe with something like the Fallen Order franchise, because that was always meant to be Star Wars Jedi something. That was always meant to have a consistent story, but we never got any news of a sequel to that, which was a bit of a shame.
Mm-hmm.
There's a high possibility. I mean, with regards to a Battlefront 3 campaign, we don't know what that's going to be about. And we don't know what new games they produce. I think they might struggle to make Lego canon with Battlefront, but yeah, I'd say if they released a new franchise that became successful, I'd say that's a high possibility of linking them canon-wise, but I'd probably say it's just a new branch of Lucasfilm that wants to oversee their new games.
But I'm thinking that if Lucasfilm Storytelling Group is one thing, and now they've made a whole new thing for games, I think they've got. I might be wrong here, but I think they've got a publishing group as well, which is all the books and comics and stuff.
Yeah, I think.
So they have the main Lucasfilm thing, which is the films and the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
And then I think they've got the publishing group, which is underneath them. And now, if what I'm thinking is correct, they now have games, which is underneath the films.
Yeah.
If I'm doing this flowchart correctly. So, if proper Lucasfilm, so the Disney Plus and the actual films, if that storytelling group says, okay, as the storytelling, we want the High Republic as books, and I don't know, something else like, I'm just going to say the Clone Wars. I know we've already got the Clone Wars, but the Clone Wars is a game.
That would be amazing. That would be.
So you've got the entirety of High Republic being left up to the books, and then the entirety of the Clone Wars being left up to the games.
Yeah.
Then that's the films, the Disney Plus shows, the games, the books, all connected. I mean, they're already connected because they're all Star Wars, but they're all connected in one story.
Yeah.
I would imagine that is what they're trying to go for. But I don't know. So if they might release multiplayer games, they might release single-player games, all going around this one story, which is continuous along. So then they have one group of people who control that one story.
Yeah.
Instead of EA trying to control it.
Yeah. I think with regards to hopes for this, I think I speak for both of us, really. I think the Battlefront 3 is the biggest desire from this new thing.
Yeah.
If Lucasfilm are sticking to this whole big revamp they've done with the company and the films and games, I think if we are given the Battlefront 3 that we deserve and the one that we want, I think this is going to be a major turnaround for the Star Wars franchise.
I mean, I've said it before, and I'm not the only one that said it. If EA kept Battlefront 2 going, imagine how much money they'd be making now. Not only is it the highest selling game in December of last year, or I think it was in the top 10 even. Not only that, but with all the shows coming out now,
Yeah.
if they release content like Ahsoka just before the Ahsoka show comes out, that's going to get a lot of people.
I mean, imagine Mando in Battlefront.
Exactly. But obviously this isn't a Star Wars Battlefront 3 video. That'll probably come later. But we're hopeful, basically. If Lucasfilm were clever, that's what they would do, in my opinion. Now, they're probably smarter than me, and they most definitely know more business, how business works, more than me. So, it's, I wouldn't take my word for it, but they probably got something planned.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope. Lucasfilm has been known to not plan things from time to time.
Hopefully this new revamp says otherwise.
But yeah, as you were saying earlier, you have this new High Republic thing that's being kicked off. You have the games. You have the Disney Plus shows now. They're really starting to expand everything, and it's not just the films anymore, which is very exciting. So yeah, any more that you want to add to this?
Just trying to think. Well, I think that with every new Star Wars game we're going to get, like you said, I think Lucasfilm, or this new branch, will have a lot more say in what happens. So I think that we know as fans that we are going to get the best and most accurate content we can get regarding what the game is based around. And I just think that if they do this and they manage to stick to it, then the popularity in Star Wars games and the films itself will probably rise a lot more. And I think that as soon as that first teaser trailer or mention of a new game comes out, there's going to be a lot of hype around it.
What do you think? This is just a question which you guys can let me know as well, what your opinions are. What do you think is going to be the most popular? The High Republic books, or whatever they reveal as a game?
A game.
You think?
And that's not me being biased towards game or books. I'm personally a big fan of books. I like reading. He says as he hasn't started the High Republic yet. But
I have.
As I know you have, I need to catch up. I think that there is a much bigger market out there for games.
Definitely.
How we like to play things, like when we watch a film or a series, we immediately want to play something after related to it. I think even those people who just want to go out and play a game, I think the game side would just be so much more engaging, and especially if it was a multiplayer as well. Than a book series which people will read by themselves. I think the game side has a lot more of a grander appeal.
I think the game side is a lot more shareability. Yeah, I just made that word up. But it's a lot easier to share around, whereas I don't think the books have that same... not everybody wants to talk about the books as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Whereas I think still the film is the ultimate thing. But I think games are very much underneath that. And then it's books, in terms of importance. Not importance, but in terms of hype, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let us know what you think about Lucasfilm Games. I've just completely had a mind blank there. So let us know what you think about Lucasfilm Games in the comments. Follow us on Instagram at the Coaxium Smugglers. I've messed up this outro, so I'm gonna go. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.